Well, what in myself makes myself stay in these situations when I don't want to be in those situations, or when I don't feel valued or seen? Well, that must mean I don't value myself or see myself. Hola. You see that we are on our grown and our sexy. We have some merlot here today. I keep going back and forth. I'm a sweet wine girl and then I'm a dry wine girl. Merlot has been my thing lately, so we're gonna stick to this. Let's take a sip. Yes. The one thing that breaks my heart more than anything is seeing anyone giving away their power so easily and not truly understanding the power that we have in the way that we move through the world, in how we control who we are in our relationships and what relationships we're in, how we live, how we make money. All those things in the power of our choice and in our tongue and what we speak. Therefore, what we think and what we feel. In the beginning of my marriage, but then just relationship, I played such a victim role. He would do something that I didn't like. He would do something I deemed disrespectful. And in my mind, calling him out about it was the way that I stood up for myself. And same things would happen and I would keep staying. And it's like, in my mind, I was like, you're doing this. It's you. It's your fault. But sis, you made a decision to stay. Like, I could not see that back then. And only once I got to this space of healing and really taking responsibility for myself and making decisions for myself did I go, well, what in myself makes myself stay in these situations when I don't want to be in those situations, or when I don't feel valued or seen? Well, that must mean I don't value myself or see myself. My relationship, now marriage, has taught me so much about myself. It has taught me so much about respecting myself. It's taught me that if you do not respect and love yourself and demand that from other people, even the best person you know will take advantage of that. Because good people can have bad habits. Good people can do things that they don't deem disrespectful that you do. And if you don't set boundaries for yourself, how are they going to know? And how are they going to treat you any differently? If you treat yourself bad and expect something from other people, you're setting yourself up for failure. What's the saying?
Fool me once, shame on you. If fool me, we can't get fooled again.
It's like, okay, maybe the first time is like, oh, I didn't see that coming. But once you let it happen multiple times, then that's on you. One of the keys of taking your power back is getting out of the victim mindset. You're not a victim. Yes, things have happened. There's absolutely things going on that can and will attempt to set you back. But here's the thing. The way that we view that, whether we say, I can't do this because of this, if we live in that, that's where we will remain. We have seen countless times over and over again, people who get out of situations that we look at and we're like, wait, how did you possibly make it out of that? And that is because of a mindset. And it's not to say that you don't acknowledge that things are going on, that you feel a certain way and that bad things happen. It is the way that you approach it and the mindset that you have of how you're going to get over that. So the first thing we're going to do, I think this comes with every video, but we're going to go into more detail here. Boundaries, my favorite word. The first way to take your power back is setting boundaries. Owning your power means owning yourself and who you are, not trying to change for anyone, standing strong in who you are and your natural abilities and pouring into those and only making those stronger. One of the first ways to drain your energy and drain your power is by being around people that poke fun at everything that makes you you. So someone just popped into your head. I pray that someone that popped into your head is someone you have already set a boundary with, someone that's already out of your main space, but I have a feeling it's not. I have a feeling it's someone that you want to have that conversation with, or someone that is maybe very close and very important to you. Here's my advice. Make space. Make space between you and anyone that makes you feel like everything that makes you you is a bad thing. If you've been around that person or people like that your whole life, usually if it starts with your family making you feel that way, if you don't know then that that's unhealthy, you will start looking for that as comfort in friendships. So I say all this to say that if you're in your 20s, late 20s, 30s, 40s, you've probably gained friends, still have close relationships with those family members, maybe even a spouse that reflect some of those qualities that make you feel not so good about yourself. If this is you, take a breather. Let's take a sip. Let's take a sip. Okay? Because here's the good news. The people who are meant to be in our lives are going to be in our lives. The people who love us, they're going to love us regardless. This is exactly what I was saying about if you don't set a boundary even with a good person, and if they don't know how they're hurting you, they will continue doing it, because sometimes they do think it's just a joke. Sometimes it's not that big a deal. But if you have surrounded yourself with people like that your whole life, it's going to be a little difficult. It's going to be difficult because it's going to feel like you are just creating these problems all over the place, setting these boundaries. But let me promise you something. When you find the people that understand you, that accept you and love you for who you are, it is a game changer. In the beginning, it might actually feel weird. It might feel like, he don't really like me like that. She don't really like me like that, because you're so used to being made fun of for the quirks that make you you, that finding someone that thinks that is beautiful, that loves it, that pours into it, that understands it, and that maybe is it too. So you see yourself in this person or these people. It's a game changer when you find people that love you for you. It shows you what it means to be truly accepted. It shows you what relationships don't feel so good. I encourage you to get out. I encourage you to put yourself in spaces where your quirks are nurtured, whatever that is. For me, it was very quiet and sensitive and deep. I also was like a really artsy kid. So I loved music, I loved dance, I loved the arts. So for me, I would surround myself with more artsy things. I'm blessed in a way that is indescribable. I'm married to a creative and my best friends are creatives, but that would be something I would do, is put myself in more art spaces to meet people like me that won't feel like I am weird, won't try to convince me to be something else. If you don't have people around you already and you feel ostracized or you feel different, especially after creating these boundaries, I encourage you to start going to these places and meeting people that can show you that you may be different, but it's beautiful. Start to gain relationships in that space. It will change everything in your life, and you'll realize it'll be a click. Like, there was never anything wrong with me. I just was around people that didn't understand me. Setting those boundaries and placing yourself in spaces where you feel whole and seen, and where you can talk like you talk and walk like you walk and dress like you dress and be as quiet as you want or as loud as you want. The power that you gain in being in spaces with people like you that see you. Chef's kiss. Step 2, you have to relearn to hear your voice. You have to relearn to hear yourself. That can be a little difficult because for so long you've been hearing other people's opinions, and maybe you've been trying to fit in. And the reason I said boundaries first is because you got to make space. If you can make space away from the people that are making you feel that, you can start to hear yourself a little bit more. I encourage you to take time to commune with the universe. And when I say that, just sit down and meditate, hear your thoughts, journal out your thoughts. And this is beyond spirituality. This is beyond religion. This is knowing that you were created and that all those things that you feel that won't go away, why do you think that is? That's because they were placed in you. If you had a choice in our weakest moments where we wanted to be like someone else or blend in with the crowd, if we had a choice, we would just blend in with the crowd, wouldn't we? But something bigger than us put these gifts and these attractions and these interests in us, because that's what makes us uniquely us. And the reason you can't shake it is because you're not supposed to shake it. You're supposed to pour into it. You're supposed to make it stronger. I did do a video recently about being in your cocoon phase and getting unstuck and writing down all the things that bring you joy and the things that you don't like, so that you can kind of figure out your voice again. So I will tag that here. Pour into that. Make that stronger and stronger and stronger, because that is the key to feeling powerful in yourself, is owning the things that make you you. The moment that I decided to own the fact that I am deep, okay, I had to lean into the fact that that is what feeds my soul, is pouring back into others all the things that I'm learning. Because I had people around me who said, oh my God, why do you have to make everything so deep? It made me feel horrible. I was like,
oh my God, am I that person that makes everything too deep?
And I started to question myself. And then I go and I spend time with my friends who get it and who can talk deep into the ocean just like me. And I'm like, no, I'm not too much. I'm too much for you, but I'm not too much. I love this. I absolutely love this. And until I took charge of the fact that I love that, and until I leaned into it, I wasn't fully happy. And I promise you that if you can take charge of the quirks and the things that people find weird, the things that people made fun of you for, which are probably beautiful to the world, as I've learned my gift is to other people. Somebody doesn't appreciate it, but that somebody is not everybody. There are billions of people on the earth. I promise you that if it was placed inside of you, it is your gift to share. Master that. Hone it. Get as good as you possibly can at that thing. As you feel, share it with the world, or just pour into it for yourself. Or maybe it's just for you, and maybe in your light and you being joyful, you don't know whose life you're going to change out in the world. The how, the reason is not our jobs. And for me, that was like a weight off my shoulder. Hone in on your thing. You are special. You are needed. I don't care if 1,000 people are doing it. You are needed the way that you can do it, the way that you can say it. So next, you want to schedule time with the people that fill you up. Scheduling some intentional time with those people is going to help you develop even more and become more confident in that part of you. Also, making sure that you're scheduling intentional time alone, because that's when you get to know yourself. That's when you get to hear yourself, which is crazy because back in college, I couldn't imagine time alone. If it wasn't with my boyfriend, it was with my friends. Out of college, I started to learn to make time for myself. It was really when I started meditating. I started to learn to enjoy my alone time, hear my thoughts, and really enjoy myself. It's one of the best things I've ever done for myself. Everyone should love time by themselves. You are the person you spend the most time with. And it's crazy that we come into this world and then we get so attached to people that we don't want to be by ourselves. Listen, I can't get enough. Find that time to yourself. You also want to make sure that you're scheduling time to do the things that light you up. Do it just to do it at first. If it's something that you want to do as a career, that's awesome, but start doing it. Start meddling in it. Get to know it. Start mastering it before you are so worried about it making you money. Enjoy it first. Where your soul is pulling you, go. This one is one of my favorites. Learning to cancel out the noise and move at your own pace. Earlier this year, I went through what in the spiritual world we call the dark night of the soul. You go through a few of them in your life. It's really like when we talk about like midlife crisis or quarter life crisis. It's these moments where you're like, what am I doing? Am I happy? Is this taking me where I want to go? So they say dark night because there's who you were and you're changing from that. And there's who you're becoming, but you're not quite there. And so you're stuck in this middle ground. It feels a little scary because you don't really know who you are and you're kind of all over the place. And I went through one of those. And the best thing I did for myself was get off social media because it's loud there. I am not anti-social media. I think it's a beautiful place. I think when used correctly, it's awesome. But there's so much noise. Everybody's sharing their opinions. Everybody's sharing everything. And I couldn't hear myself anymore. I was so confuzzled with people's opinions and ideas that I got lost and I got confused about what I actually wanted to do. I had to get off and I had to quiet myself. And I started to really think about what I want to put out into the world. I want to say things that I actually care about. I don't want to move at someone else's pace. I want to move at my pace. How do I do that and be successful? How do I do that and be consistent? I had to cancel out all the noise, and I didn't have many friends dates or anything. There were days I was just in my room meditating, journaling, getting rest. Give yourself the time to hear yourself, to begin to move at your own pace. And that's really how you take your power back, because if you are on a hamster wheel and you're chasing someone else's idea of success or pace of success, what is your pace? We are all unique here. And I know the world sells it as we're supposed to have these milestones by these certain times, but that's not true. What is your thing? What do you want? The beauty in this is that there are people who don't hit their success stories until 30s, 40s, 50s. And it's not to say that you have to wait till then to experience pleasure or joy. It just means that if I didn't do it by 25, 35, 45, that doesn't mean that it can't happen for me. That means this is the journey. This is my journey. And I'm working on it and I'm enjoying it. That is the best thing that you can do for yourself. Move at your own pace. To sum this all up, you're not a victim. You have the power. You already have it. It is just about you owning it. It is setting boundaries with people that don't make you feel so good. Finding your people, spending more time with them, even if it's one person, until you find your group, your tribe. Make sure that you spend time with people that fill you up and that make you feel seen. And if you don't have that person or those people yet, put yourself in the spaces to meet those people. Facebook groups, there's in-person meetings, there's all types of things that you can do to find your people. Just know that what you're feeling is valid, that who you are and what you're going through is valid. All of those things are real. The things that you enjoy, they're valid. And if anyone around you is making you feel like your feelings, the things you enjoy or anything like that is invalid, those are not the people that are going to help you take your power back. Those are the people that are actually going to push you further away from that. So I pray that you have the strength and the courage to make space between those people, to get out of the victim mindset, spend time with yourself, spend time doing doing things that light you up. Spend time talking to God. Spend time talking out loud and speaking to your gifts inside, calling them out. Some great affirmations that I like to use. Thank you for the courage that is coming up to allow me to get through this. Thank you for the strength that I need. I got this from Michael Bernard Beckwith. Whatever quality that I need right now, thank you, God, for allowing me to access that. God, I know that if you let me see the dream, if you let me see how I'm supposed to be, how I'm supposed to walk in this world, I know that if I can see that in myself, I know that you have already given it to me. Whenever I used to hear, you already have it, like everything you need, you already have it, I'm like, I don't. But what it is that it's been buried. It's been buried under all the other beliefs that you've taken on, under the fear, under the self-doubt, under all the things you've taken on and you've believed that to be yourself. It's hidden, but it's there. Call it forward. Whatever quality you're looking for, confidence, speak it. Speak it over and over and over. I'm speaking courage to set the boundaries that I need to set. I have the power to do that. I have the strength to do that. And I have the right to do that. I am standing up for myself. I make decisions that are best for myself. Speak whatever you need to. I have become affirmation queen. Like, I used to love affirmations, but recently I have been affirming and affirming and affirming. Speaking that my habits are changing. I release the habits that don't work for me and I welcome the new habits with joy and with open arms. I've been cleaning out my home. I'm making space in all ways. Call those things forward because they are in you. If you continue to believe you are a victim, then you will continue attracting opportunities to be a victim. You have the power to change whatever it is that you need to change in your life, but that requires you going inward. That requires you changing habits, setting boundaries, showing up for yourself, and actually sitting down and listening to yourself, hearing what you want, quiet it down. Take a few days to really hear what it is that you need. What are you missing? What are you chasing? You got this, okay? If you like this video, please hit thumbs up, subscribe, make sure that you put on your notifications for any new videos that are coming. Let me know what else you want to see or what topics you want me to speak on. I will do my best to incorporate that into some of the videos I have coming up. I love you guys. I believe in you, and I'm so happy we're on this journey together. And until next time, keep living in love, in light, and in your truth. Mwah. Bye.